places that you know seem like fantasy. There's a light inside your soul that's still shining in the cold, with the truth, the promise in our hearts. Don't forget, I'm with you in the dark.
One day, enthusiasts had come to the island of Sorrow to see the china clay pits. Edward was tasked to carry them to there. He had a struggle pulling the coaches towards them, however, and the engines behind his back mocked him. "You should give up," said Gordon. "Pathetic," said James. "Pointless," said Henry. "Shut up," said Duck. "I can't believe I'm hearing this from you." "Out of all the engines," said Boko, "I expect you three to act more mature." "I can't believe engines like you would tell horrible things behind Edward's back, especially after all the good things he's done for you. Just because he's old doesn't mean he's a worthless piece of scrap. He's a really useful engine." The engines felt miserable after this. Meanwhile, Edward was carrying the enthusiasts to the china clay pits. Bill and Ben were excited to see and greet them. But once they were done, Bill and Ben treated them to a fantastic brake van special. But as they traveled home, the weather took a turn for the worse. It got so bad that Edward's driver had to pour sand on the rails from slipping. But then all of a sudden, something broke. Edward's driver soon inspected the damage. "It looks bad, boy. You've broken your side rods and are badly dented. We've taken off your side rods, so now you're a single. Can you get these people home?" "I'll try my best," said Edward confidently. Edward pulled his hardest, but he was still having trouble. The passengers were getting anxious. Edward's crew soon loosened the coaches to make it easier. Then they set Edward on a more easier part of the line. Edward pulled once more. He pulled with all his might, the driver sprinkling sounds on the rails. But at last, "We've done it! We've done it!" yelled his crew. Edward was pleased with himself. The passengers cheered with joy at this revelation. At the station, the Fat Controller was pacing furiously, waiting for Edward, who was late. At last, Edward came into the station, where Henry was there to greet him. The Fat Controller was about to scold Edward when the passengers came out and cheered, "Hurrah for Edward!" They were very glad that Edward had done it. Soon, Edward returned home, promised by the Fat Controller to be prepared the next day. Boko and Duck made sure Edward was treated nicely. Gordon and James respectively remained silent.
Now that they're men, we can't bother them. Now that they're men, they have become our friends. Now that they're men, they'll be a happy end. They'll pass the test and finish the quest for the crown. They'll pass the test and finish the quest. They'll pass the test and finish the quest for the crown.